Hey, and welcome back to Steel's Gaming. Today we're going to be starting a new session of Satisfactory. They just released Satisfactory 1.0, and I wanted to start a playthrough on it and go from there. For this one, we're going to just do the grass fields and start there, and we're going to kind of work our way through. And it's Earth. It's not really Earth, but awesome. And we're going to skip the onboarding process. There's no reason to go through that. Sweet. Let's get going. So I've actually played this before. It was super satisfying. Satisfactory.
Hub
satisfying.
upgrade 6. Landing platform hydraulics completed. Freighter landing initialized. Congratulations, you have completed onboarding and achieved the absolute minimum skill level required of a Fix-It pioneer. Fix-It looks forward to your future achievements, because a future with Fix-It is a future with you. Tier 1 and 2 milestones are now available in the hub, and biomass burners can now be built individually. Your first official objective is to initiate project assembly by building the space elevator. This objective will take a significant amount of resources, so Fix-It recommends getting to work.
Yep, and pick up everything as you go. So I thought I saw a bunch of iron over here. I wanted my scans. Having greenery nice and close is convenient. Let's check it again. It looks like there's 2, but there's 3 over there. So let's take a look and see which one kind of looks better. The important thing right now...
Edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for Fix-It to make an informed decision. Store this potential resource for later use.
Yeah, there's already a critter that wants to kill me. It's impure.
Samples of new alien species acquired. Notable features are blunt teeth, suggesting it is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine, suggesting it is proficient at inflicting and receiving blunt force trauma. Preserve the remains for later study.
These ones might be better just because they're a little more spaced out. And there's a blue slug up there. These are normal. Those other ones were impure. As long as all 3 of these are normal. Then I'm going to start my first base here. The goal right now is to essentially get as much as I can get done to essentially level up. Because the thing is I can't build foundations right now, so... Oh, well, I need that still in my hand, thank you. Come on. There we go. The other thing I'm going to need early on is copper and limestone. So we've got some over there that's 200 meters, and that's limestone right there. Let's go stick this up there. This is actually a really good spot. My last playthrough I did in the desert, and it was definitely a fun time. So eventually I'll build a platform for us to build off of, but right now I need to just kind of be close to this. We're producing iron. Ooh, I can already build that? Man, I should have just started with that. So the hub is what we need to essentially level up. And I don't know why it's hovering. I don't really want it in between these 2. So I'm going to build it here, but then I'll build a workbench back further. So first thing is I need this. Which luckily that's hopefully everything I need. So I find a lot of joy in this game just because it's progressive. I feel like some other games that are similar to this, you always end up doing the same thing and you never really progress, become better at anything. I really like how this game I feel like you progress, you get better, and then you don't have to be doing the same action over and over again. So like right now, I'm building iron ingots. It's not something that's going to forever have to be that way. So right now, though, I really want to just get up to the next thing so I can build foundations, because everything right now I feel like is very temporary as I'm waiting for those foundations to kind of come into place. I should have put another miner on this the limestone is what it is. Perfect. Oh, I'm not so close. Sorry, I thought I was going to 100. Everything else is 100, but this one isn't. So last time I played those probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago. Seriously, where I actually was progressing quite well. So it's been a hot minute, so I'm pretty excited to actually see kind of how they've progressed the game. I might grab one of these. Let's go stick it over here. I know I'm not going to be able to use these blue slugs anytime soon, but I figure I might as well. I've got some free time while that's mining away. Pick it up, use it later on, but I can store it. So I'm kind of excited though that finally this game has come out of beta. I feel like there's a lot of games nowadays that just kind of stay in beta and don't ever really progress. You can kind of see that all over the news where people are just kind of ticked that, yeah, instead they kind of leave it in a half-baked state, or they are like, oh, well, we're never actually going to fully release it. But they're willing to take your money for it, right? Whereas I feel like this game actually have progressed quite a bit, like adding material to it. I'm kind of curious though if the reason they're actually releasing it is because they've kind of hit the cap of
edible collected. If consumed before authorized is compatible with the human digestive system by Fixit, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Store this potential resource for later use.
I'm just curious if they've essentially hit the max of the engine that they're building this game on. I kind of feel like that was the case with Space Engineers, is they added as much as they could, and then it got to the point where they're like, oh, well, we can't add anything else. They kind of just capped it at that point, which kind of makes me sad because I really like Space Engineers, but people have all these great ideas and you just never can achieve it. Something like water is something that I feel like they need to figure out, and that's kind of probably going to be the next time that I really step into it. Whether that be Space Engineers 2 or the current Space Engineers. There's a lot of mods that use water in Space Engineers, but they're just not as good. Every time they update it, it stops working essentially at that point. So I just really want them to figure that out so we don't have that issue, because the water aspect of it is pretty important in my opinion. Yeah, so something that else is going on right now that I feel like my community should be aware of is, so Intel
Milestone reached. Foundations provide a building grid. In the be reassured.
So I feel like my community should be aware that Intel claimed that they fixed the CPU issues, the i9s. It was pretty much all the K processors, anything over 65 watts. Actually, I think it was beyond this, just the K processors. So they have pretty much admitted that they still haven't fixed it. There was on, let's see, I think it was PC Gamer. They did an article and they're saying, hey, like essentially, if your CPU was damaged before, it's still damaged. Nothing is really going to change about that. And so that's something to bear in mind. I feel like my community needs to be aware of that. Yeah, you need to protect yourself and pay attention to what your CPU is doing. And if you are having issues, I would definitely send it in for an RMA. now instead of waiting till it completely breaks, because yeah, it's a rough day. Especially for Intel, I feel like they really screwed the pooch on that one. But if you have an Intel i9 or i7, you need to check it and make sure that you've got stability. If you want a video on that, let me know, and I'll make a video about that instability issue that people are finding with it. It's definitely concerning, and I think that people need to pay attention to it. And if you have that definitely, I would try to replace it sooner rather than later. Just because if you wait too long, then Intel, being Intel, is going to run out of CPUs. There's been all sorts of Reddit posts pretty much saying that, hey, like, they're telling people that they're out of CPUs and that people are going to have to wait to get them, which is really unfortunate. And luckily for me, so I've got an i9. I was able to get mine RMA'd. It was kind of crazy. I did the advanced RMA, and literally they were like, oh yeah, like it'll be shipped within, I think they said 2 business days. They said 2 to 4 business days is when I should arrive. And it arrived the very next day. And they called me probably, I don't know, it was probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when I made the payment, and it arrived the next day. And I was very impressed that that's how fast they worked. But if you are having any sort of instabilities, I definitely would get it checked out. There's a lot of videos that essentially can show you what's the possibility as far as having that instabilities and what to look out for. I need that powered so that I can actually make more concrete, make more of this stuff. So the crazy thing though is from what a lot of people are saying, these are actually issues that have been going on a long time, and that they're just barely now coming to light, and that Intel has just kind of been golden goosing this situation where they're just asking more and more of their processors, and they're just not capable of providing as much as they're asking. And then you end up with the current situation where it just eventually your CPUs die. Part of that issue was that there was a processing, I'm not too familiar with exactly what ended up happening, but I think if I remember correctly that there was some imperfections in their processing, and it caused the CPUs to die early just because they had imperfections built into the silicon, that's a rough situation. There's no way to fix that. Go back and retroactively, once you build the silicon, if it's got imperfections in it, it's got imperfections, and you can sell it at a lower part, but you're kind of stuck at that point, right? I'm missing concrete. Let's see. I wonder if I have enough to build a smelt. So in order to hit in the top right, hit that logistics thing, I've got to essentially get a lot of this built and get one first. Gonna leave a gap there. That's above ground, that's impressive. We are gonna build that there. Build across. We want iron ingots. That's something that takes a lot of time to actually build. So foundations. I'm actually gonna save that to a hotkey. And I'm still missing that. I don't know why I didn't build that first. I should have. So by not having foundations, it can get really ugly really fast. So I like to build a lot of foundations early on. It kind of slows down your progress, but allows you to essentially work and get stuff done more organized. Sadly, I just killed that. So now I need to build a new one. I don't have to be completely on the foundation right now. I just want it to be most of the way on. So now we're here, and I need to put my burners back going again. So we're actually going to wire these together. Oh, I'm missing concrete. That's unfortunate. Hopefully I got enough to build some stuff. So we're going to build onto one power pole just because we can't max out this line with just one, and we're going to connect it. Eventually I'll move that power pole, and we'll move this one once I actually have stuff kind of grounded. Luckily, now we have that. I need to build some more up to it so that I can build concrete coming out of it. The question is whether or not I can hit this logistics milestone without that, because the logistics is going to give me the merger and the splitter and the efficiency status, which then allows me to split it because I know this is going to be able to produce more than I'll be able to use. So I really want to, if I can, do that, which I'm going to postpone everything by doing that. Do I have miners? So I need to, I guess, do I have the stuff to build a biomass? I do. So I can go up there and build. Let's mark. I thought there was copper this way. I think it's like up there. Oh, it's right there. You can see it. So we're going to build a copper mining facility up here. It's not going to be pretty at this point. We just need copper so that we can hit that logistics milestone. I guess I could mine 300 by hand. That's just a lot of time to do that. And I don't want to waste that much time. After you've played with jetpacks, running is just so slow and all the other stuff. Something is not happy. Oh, that's not good. Okay, stop running. Thank you. Now where was I? I thought it was over here. Oh, there's another slug, it looks like, up there. Did I miss it? That's right there. Yeah, and like the hyper tubes and all sort of stuff are so much faster than running themselves. Okay, we're gonna build a biomass right now. It doesn't matter which way it's going because we're not gonna feed it. We're gonna build a miner. And I'm missing concrete. How ironic is that? Let's see. Do I have enough to build it up here? I don't have. Oh, I do have some. Not used, so I'm just doing that, so that's unfortunate. How much do I need? I need 10, so I've got enough. You're gonna build this one. I've been building all of them south facing, but I think this one, we'll continue to build south facing. It's the only thing that needs to be powered right now. I guess, can I build a smelt? I do not have enough stuff to build a smelt yet. Actually, I probably could. Yeah, the smelt will just mean that I'll be with copper ingots, and then if I need to go and make the wire by hand, I can. This is gonna be fun. It's just the height difference is gonna make it pretty miserable for lining that up. But copper ingots. Perfect. So that's using 30. This is producing 60, so we'll need to put a splitter in the middle, but I want to build foundations on that, so. We can actually build a constructor while we're at it. And that's weird. I was holding the key to essentially line that up, but it didn't line it up like it should have. Let's see. Bring power down here, plug it in, and we want wire. You hit 300 of them, which wire goes in 500 bundles, so this should fill up, so I'm good to leave this for a minute. The yellow means that we're full because they're not dumping anywhere. I know maybe it's not the most interesting of all topics, but I feel like people just need to be aware of what I talked about earlier about, you know, Intel and the way things are going there. It's across the board, we're just finding things are a little bit more difficult. If you look at AMD and the way that they launched their 9000 series CPUs, things were not pretty there, and people need to be aware as you're spending money on different stuff, like what to watch out for and what you should and shouldn't spend your money on. I would definitely do your research, especially before you build something, because they're finding that, you know, 9000 series was something that was meant to be extremely promising. It was extremely efficient compared to 7000 series, but it didn't have the performance gains that people believe that the next generation should essentially have to release a new generation. So if you're looking at that, a lot of people I know are waiting for the X3D lineup of AMD, just because right now the king, as far as gaming computers, is actually their 3D chips are extremely efficient and they do a really good job. So just something to bear in mind as you're shopping for those. Intel's got their fair share of issues. i9, if you're looking at the top of the lineup, that's something to bear in mind. Make sure you update your BIOSes, but hopefully when you build your PC, it's something that you love and you have a good time with it. So best of luck to you on that one. Yeah, this miner keeps on turning yellow because there's just not enough space here. We're maxing this out, which is unfortunate, but I should almost have enough to launch. Just a little short. Launch that. Now we can look at efficiencies.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
No pressure whatsoever on that statement. Okay, so we can look at this. See how much it provides. So 30 a minute. We are going to see that is fit on there nicely. So takes 45, so we're gonna max this out, which is fine. Perfect. Want it to feed nice and straight. And of course, I'm out of iron plates. Okay, so while I'm here, we're gonna do this last one for tier 1. The mammal lets us use all that stuff that we've used, map, we can find more slugs, and we get more inventory space. So we're gonna be working that one too. Let's bring it here. Funnel that straight in. Once we level up the miner, it should be good. We're interfering. Put it in the middle there. And we're building concrete. Make sure this gets going. So yeah, our efficiency isn't gonna be great, but you can dump that in there too. I don't think I have any storage yet. Splitters, but no storage. So that's gonna give us the concrete we need. I really need to build this out a little further so that we can add a constructor on it. Let's look at the efficiency on this. So we're making 60. This is using 30. We can essentially divide this into 2. Get out of my way. Nope, that's the wrong one. Splitter. Want a nice flow action from there in. And then we can build from here on out. Smelts. Yeah, it's not perfectly centered, which is kind of unfortunate. I need more iron plates. Build a nice elbow on it, and then we're gonna make ingots here, ingots there. So now we're at perfect efficiency on that. I'm gonna build it right between them. It's not perfectly centered, but that's life, right? Now we need more. Nope, that's not right. Press the wrong button. We want zoom. Short concrete. Let's see how this concrete factory is doing over here. The constructor for it. We're hanging off. Pull that out a little bit. Put this across, and then. So we're producing 30 a minute. Let's come in here and look and see what our efficiency is for that type of stuff. It doesn't say. Unless I switch it over, which I don't really want to right now. So we're gonna build our first one. We'll build it so it fits nicely on it. This is gonna be our plate, which uses 30. This produces 30 a minute. Is that right? Yep, 30 a minute. So that's producing. We need another one of these. We're missing cables, which means I gotta take a trip. Let's build that second structure. I'm pretty sure these are actually more efficient. Where we essentially use less. I don't have enough plates. Wrong button. That's the one I need. So 30 a minute, like I said, this is going to be using 15 a minute. So we can build a splitter here. So we're going to start this. It's going to back up a little bit, which is perfect. That's what we want. And we're going to build another constructor over here. And we're missing reinforced plates. Which means you need plates and nails. Or are they screws? I don't remember what they are. One of the two. Screws. Need 2 of these. Let's build 4, just so I have them. Perfect. We need to build some more foundations. And constructor. Perfect. And then we'll build that here. Nope, too far. Straight into it. So now we should be doing that. More concrete. So I want to automate making screws. Missing enough plates. So I'm going to turn this last one into a screw manufacturer. I don't ever think I hooked this thing up. So we're making screws with this. So let's see if we've got enough to essentially complete level 1. Let's run over here and grab some iron, or the wire, and then we'll come back and see if we can launch this. I'm curious on what you guys think as far as this goes. I'd appreciate if you guys put a comment down below. It just helps with engagement and getting more people to see this video. Tell me what you think of Satisfactory, if this is your first encounter with it or if you've played it before. Curious on what your thoughts are on the game and if you like it or if you kind of just think it's a grindy game. I personally really like it. As you can see, I've automated a lot of these things that I started out just building myself. But now we've kind of automated that whole process so that I'm not doing that sort of thing, wasting my time, but instead using this power that we created to essentially automate that whole process and be efficient. Let's top these off real fast. Nothing worse than having you run out of power. Let's dump what we've got so we know what we need. Sweet, so that should be everything that we need to launch and end tier 1. On to tier 2.
Supply the molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, with local resources to research and develop new technologies. Potential technologies include exploration tools, weapons, and factory buildings. These are essential for maximizing your Pioneer efficiency and alignment with Fixit's core pillars: construct, automate, explore, and exploit. To advance Fixit's mission, all notable phenomena, resources, technology, or other influence should be investigated regardless of any perceived danger, as stated in the Pioneer contract.
Okay, that's finally over. So we're going to save tier 2 for the next video. If you guys enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to not miss the next one. I hope to catch you in the next one. Have a good day.